Welcome back to the Nebraska Furniture Mart Locker Room Show. I'm joined now by Breland Moore and Jared Kohler for tonight's Roundtable. All right, guys, I know we're all excited because Sporting Kansas City is going to take the pitch very soon in Orlando for the MLS is Back tournament. We'll see at least 3 matches before the field is narrowed down to the top 16. So what are your expectations for what's to come? There's so much in the air with this right now, Breland.
Yeah, I wouldn't get your hopes up too high on this whole thing. We talked to Peter Vermees just a couple of days ago, and he kind of hinted around that this might not go according to plan and as smooth as possible. Keep in mind, these guys have been isolated from everybody else, so they've not been able to scrimmage other teams or anything. So really, they're just working with each other, and I'm sure it's going to take them quite a while to really adjust to game shape. Add the fact that they're also going down to a hot, humid, sticky Orlando climate, and I think they're going to hit a couple of roadblocks in the first 2, maybe 3 games even, until they can adjust and their bodies can adjust to what's going on. And then hopefully we'll have smooth sailing from there.
My hopes are that the hot start from Sporting Kansas City and the momentum and the team chemistry that they've built carries over into this tournament. But I do agree with you, Breland. It's been a long time since these guys have actually really played together. And it's the same for a lot of teams across the entire country, and not a lot of teams have played in an area or a part of the country that can deal with that kind of heat. So you're technically going to be changing just the entire environment. You're going to be rusty. I think you're going to see a lot of ugly soccer. I think there's going to be a lot of 0-0 games, especially in those early rounds in the groups, in the group play, and I think that maybe a lot of 0-1 games because they're just going to be able to skate by, and there's going to be a lot of decent defense, but then offense isn't going to be that great. So I just don't expect to see the best possible soccer that MLS is capable of showing us until maybe this season has an opportunity to go back to home venues and they shake that rust off. But my expectations are not super high when it comes to this tournament in Orlando. No. What do you think, Jared?
Well, listen, I agree that maybe the overall level of play won't be as good, but it's a level playing field. Every single team is dealing with that same heat. Every single team had the time off and that unique training. So when I look at this from a Sporting Kansas City perspective, if I'm a fan, I actually think Sporting has a good shot at making a run at this thing, and that's because of the experienced leadership that they have in place. You look at what's the core returning group of Sporting that's been here for so many years. Matt Besler, hometown kid, Graham Zusi, Roger Espinoza, and of course Peter Vermees at the helm. Those guys have been here. They've played in big matches. They're not worried about this stage because think about it. Those 3 matches are very important. Not only do they count toward the regular season standings, but if you lose 1 match, then you pretty much got to win out. If you lose 2 matches, then you're essentially done for. So there's a lot of pressure in those 3 matches. And then, of course, winner go home in the round of 16 and so on. So I think Sporting's advantage compared to a lot of other teams in Major League Soccer is that they've got guys with experience in big matches. And then the leadership that it kind of comes in, I look at the past few months. While everyone is away, I feel confident that the entire Sporting Kansas City roster was held accountable by Vermees, by Besler, by Espinoza and Zusi, keeping everybody in check, doing training at home, staying fit as much as they can. Then when they got to individual workouts and training workouts, I feel confident that they were truly doing the best they can. Now, it'll be nowhere near as good of a team as it was when the season ended, when they started 2-0, so I'm not expecting that same level of play. But comparatively speaking to the rest of the league, I think Sporting fans should be excited with what the product they will put on the pitch because they have the foundation. It's just a matter of, can Alan Polito keep playing as well? Can these young guys continue to step up? But that core is in place for Sporting to play well.
That core better be eating their bananas and drinking Powerade and whatever else you need to avoid cramps and anything else in these first 2 games while they get adjusted.
Thank God for the 5 subs. That actually will help. That will help.
Yeah, and when you've got an MVP like goalkeeper Tim Melia on the squad.
That's a great point.
It's huge. He's going to be able to shut down opposing offenses, and his defense is fantastic. So I think that he plays a major factor when it comes to that core and that group coming into this weird tournament off of the strange times that we've been dealing with and the kind of training that they've been having to do. So you know what, guys? Sports is back. Whether it's ugly, whether it's hot, whether Sporting makes a run, we have MLS.
Yes.
Bring it on.